All right, some prop bets for tonight's game as Arizona takes on the Seahawks. Will Kyler Murray have both a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown? He is the first player in NFL history to have a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in 5 straight games. Will he make it to 6, Chris?
Yes. I mean, I'm not betting against him. I mean, definitely not. And definitely not with what I've been seeing lately from Arizona. I mean, first off, we know they want to throw the football, but where I give Kingsbury a lot of credit is he's really, running the football and being patient with it. And like we saw last week and like we've seen every week, then they get close to the red zone, and because they've run the ball on these drives to get there a little bit, Kyler keeps the ball around the edge and nobody's there. So I almost feel like it's a guarantee he'll get a touchdown rushing and throwing tonight. That's how silly I feel about it right now.
I love that play they do. It's when you least expect it. He's in shotgun. There's a running back to his left. Everything flows to the right.
Right. They pull
puts
guards
the ball out.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He puts the ball out. The running back goes. He takes it back, and it's just gone. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's unstoppable, and they don't overuse it.
Right.
They know exactly when to use it. The defense bites, and you don't have to swallow the hook. It's just a little nibble,
right?
And you're flat-footed, and you can't get Kyler Murray.
That's why rush attempts are an undervalued number in the NFL, because the rush attempts are what set up what you're talking about. So that linebacker, think about him. He's already seen, Kenyon Drake, pulling guard, Kenyon Drake. And then he's going, okay, I've seen it 4 or 5 times in this series. I need to get over there. This damn guy keeps gashing us for 5 yards every time they do it. And you get over there aggressive, and that's when he reads it the right way, or they just call it itself. But that's what a running game does, and that's why attempts are important, because it keeps the defense having to think about it, and it's running game through that creates a lot of big plays of the play action and the quarterback keeps and all of that.
The Russell Wilson question, will he have multiple turnovers, whether it be interception or fumbles lost? We asked PointsBet for this line using their Name a Bet feature. They set it at plus 300 that he will have multiple turnovers. Bet 100, win 300. What would you take?
I think I would say no. I don't think it'll be multiple. I think he gets 1. I'll say 1. But I just think there's going to be such a concentrated effort on, and he's just been so much made about his turnovers. And then it's Pete Carroll, who's famous for, turnovers. That's all he talks about. So I would think that he is going to be extra careful tonight. So I'll say that he does not get the multiple turnovers.
Amazing to see that change from the first 5 games to the last 4, from 19 total touchdowns and 3 turnovers to 10 and 10 in the last 4 games, and they're 1-3. No surprise, and it all began with that loss to the Arizona Cardinals back when they were 5-0. More receiving yards tonight. I love this one. Deandre Hopkins, who had 103 on 7 catches when they played the last time, or DK Metcalf, who had 2 catches for 23 yards. He had the game winner that was called back. Pretty clear holding call on David Moore to pop DK Metcalf free. I wonder if he would have scored without the hold, but that one went away. The biggest play for DK the last time was running down Budda Baker 100 yards later. But who has more receiving yards tonight between those two?
Well, there's a lot of talk, right? Metcalf of those 2 receptions, and Patrick Peterson covered them, right? And then, we talked a lot about it. And it was a game where I faulted Russell Wilson for that. I just went, there was a lot of times he was open. He should have thrown the ball to DK Metcalf. And, of course, what'd they do the next week? Anytime they got one-on-one, they just abused it. If they play the same way tonight, Arizona, then, man, Metcalf is going to go off. I mean, if they're going to do that, I just don't see how they don't have the type of corner that can cover a DK Metcalf. And I don't think Russell will let them slip by with the way they played this time. I'm going to go with Hopkins just because I think Arizona's going to change it up. And I have no faith in Seattle's defense. And the way the Cardinals are running the ball right now and all that, I think I'm going to go with Hopkins, yeah.
The over-under for Hopkins is 89.5. For DK, it's 78.5. And the difference this time, Tyler Lockett's banged up. He is expected to play. He missed practice Monday. Well, it wasn't really a Monday practice. It was estimated. If they had practice, he would have missed it. On Tuesday, he did miss it with a knee injury, but he is expected to play. It was a Lockett game the last time. He had a huge performance. They were taking advantage of the fact that DK was being covered and throwing the ball to Tyler Lockett. They may have to go to DK tonight. I think.
You think they're going to try to get the revenge with DK again because they got shut out last week, and they're going to try to do more stuff with them this week? I mean, that's where I was having the conversation in my brain. All the talk about DK not getting the ball again always forces forces the OC in a corner to find more ways to get him the ball.
When you combine what the Cardinals did to DK the last time with what the Rams did to DK just 4 days ago, and it's the Cardinals again, I feel like there's going to be a concentrated effort to get the ball to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
And if there isn't, the Seahawks fans need to start demanding answers from the offensive coaches because, as we've talked about earlier in the week, it shouldn't be that hard to find ways to get the ball in the hands of DK Metcalf. Jet sweep, put him in the backfield and give him a pitch.
Give him
the old school,
right?
Give him the old school two-handed underhand pitch out. Remember they used to do that? They used to do or the one-handed spin. I used to love that. The pitch out that was the one-handed spiral into the stomach of the running back who would just take off with it. Do that.
Well, I agreed. They have to, they haven't had to for the most part all year because the offense hasn't been an issue. But as you see, every team, you're going to have a matchup. The Rams, we're one of those. Cardinals showed it. Hey, we know how to play you. We know how to slow down DK Metcalf. Watch tonight, all those out there. DK, usually they break the huddle. He lines up in one spot. He stays there. That's not how a lot of teams use their great receivers. Motion him. Put him in a bunch. Put him in a stack if they want to play man-to-man. Make life hard on these guys. You said it. Speed sweeps, reverses. Watch how many wide receiver screens Deandre Hopkins gets tonight. See if DK Metcalf ever gets one because he doesn't really. It's very, very rare. And I think that's a big part of Seattle's offense where it has to grow in that area so they can still use DK Metcalf in the meat and potatoes ways that we've seen them use and keep people off that, for the rest of the year.
I bet there's a photo somewhere in the Sims archives of Phil with his John Denver Dutch boy haircut, flipping the ball, doing the underhand spin pitch out toward the camera. Classic quarterback angle.
He might not be old enough. Somewhere. He might not be. He might have missed that by 6 or 7 years. I feel like those were late 60s, early 70s playing cards where, he might have just missed those old poses, between the pitcher or the one where the guy does this, right? That's the other one you always see. You're like, what a pose. That's great.
It never happens in a game.
Right.
Never, ever happens in a game. But let's go ahead and have that pose for your football card.
Yeah.
All right. Over-under for tonight is 57.5. It's the highest total of the week. The last time they played, it was 71. Are you over or are you under?
Yeah, it's hard not to pick over. I mean, it really is. I'm still going to go over. I don't even care. I don't. There's a part of me that always goes Thursday night football. The teams didn't have as much time to game plan on offense and do those things. That hurts it. But I don't care. I'm still going over.
Could the rematch be a disappointment? Are we expecting too much from this game? Is it going to be like Saints-Tampa Bay where Seattle wins 38-3 or something? Just some one-sided outcome?
I would be shocked. I think Arizona matches up too well with the Seattle Seahawks. I think Arizona, to what you said earlier in the show, has a real belief right now. And I think they're looking at it going, man, we want to be kings of the NFC West. And, of course, the Seahawks probably still think they're the kings, really. And I think this is going to be intense tonight. I think it's going to be a little personal. I really do. I expect it to be chippy and fun to watch.
Yeah, I think so too. And I really do believe the Cardinals have just that aura about them now. And I'm telling you, and it was not a Dr. Doom question when I pivoted with Kyler Murray to having to turn around and play in just 4 days. And he would have played right then. That's how badly he wants this game. He wants the opportunities to prove himself. He wants the chance to become as dominant at the NFL level as he was at the college level. And he's on his way. The guy who seriously considered playing baseball and who said earlier this week he'd love to play both, he's determined. And pound for pound, inch for inch, I don't think I've seen more raw determination in a football player than what Kyler Murray has, and I think that's going to be the difference tonight. So that's not my official pick, though. The official picks come later today.
Oh, you gave it away. I know who you're going with.
Do you really think I'm not taking the Cardinals after what we saw Sunday? After he helped me avoid having to buy a Josh Allen jersey and wear it today. Although I was kind of looking forward to it, I saved a little money.
Good.
Glad and I'm cheap. Money. You know me well enough to know I'm cheap. That was my first reaction when you made the bet. I don't want to have to buy a Josh Allen jersey.
Wait,
I'm cheap.
Not only that, okay, but last night through a text thread, I said, man.
No. That's all off the record.
No, it is not now. Sorry. Okay. But last night, I go, yeah, we should try to find more of these type of things where it's, a guy you're passionate about and I'm passionate about, and we make these type of bets. For the viewers out there, Mike didn't want it. He's busy enough. He doesn't want to have to drive down the hill of his driveway and mail a jersey out. We were talking about getting the jersey, then signing it and sending it and doing stuff like that. You're just high maintenance. You're a diva. You're Antonio Brown.
You botched the story. What happened was you suggested we do it on a regular basis. Pete Demolitis chimes in and says, yeah, then we could – because you wanted NBC to pay for the jerseys.
Yeah, I want to pay them every week.
NBC pays for the jerseys,
right.
And then when we're done, we sign them as if anyone wants a signed jersey from me. We sign them, and we send them to some random fan that got the picks right or just whatever the standard would be. And I don't have time to run to the pack and ship store and mail jerseys all over the country. That's my complaint. I don't care about the money. I don't have the time to screw around with the administrative stuff, and I don't have an assistant.
Get an assistant.
That's my complaint.
Get an assistant.
No, too
Come
cheap.
on.
Too cheap. I'm too cheap.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.